Alright, let's cut straight to the chase. This week's album releases read like a secret message board for the human condition. I'm not just here to list titles. I'm here to unpack why these projects feel like they're tapping into something deeper about how we process time, identity, and the chaos of modern life. Let's start with the Mountain Goats days. Now, I've been following John Danielle's lyrical maze for years, but calling this album a sequel to Goths? That's like saying a hurricane is just wind. This isn't nostalgia, it's time travel. Danielle's whole thing about songs blurring as they recede? That's the paradox of our age. We document every second on social media, yet memories still slip through our fingers. Personally, I think this album's major keys masking existential dread perfectly capture that TikTok-era dissonance. Everything's bright, shiny, and slightly hollow underneath. Then there's Margaret Glaspie's I Am Both. She literally talks about breaking the addiction to social media to get back to original thought. Can we just pause and appreciate the irony of an artist admitting they lost their voice in the noise of likes and comments? This isn't just a singer-songwriter album. It's a manifesto for creative survival. What makes this really interesting is how she frames social media as a drug, and not in a preachy way. She's confessing, I needed detox to remember why I started writing songs. That rawness? It's a rebellion against the algorithm. And honestly, isn't that why indie music still matters? It's one of the last spaces where artists can admit they're flawed humans, not curated brands. Now let's pivot to Dinner Party's What You Bringing. Terrace Martin, Kamasi Washington, Robert Glasper. These aren't just names, they're pillars of a jazz and neo-soul revolution. But here's the twist. They're collaborating with Felix, who's on 7 tracks. This isn't a supergroup flexing, it's a masterclass in musical democracy. From my perspective, this album's existence raises a deeper question. Why do we keep separating genres? When you've got jazz virtuosos and hip-hop producers building on each other's ideas, it's proof that innovation happens in the messy overlaps. And yet, the music industry still acts like genres are sealed containers. Go figure. Role models Chuck Timely and the Hourglass? Time travel alter egos? Tucker Pillsbury isn't playing. He's articulating that Gen Z millennial purgatory where everyone's getting married, buying houses, and you're stuck wondering why you still feel like a work in progress. This album isn't about literal time machines. It's about the mental loops we all get trapped in. What many people don't realize is how rare it is for pop music to tackle stagnation without shame. He's not singing about overcoming. He's documenting the grind of feeling stuck. And that's radical in an era obsessed with hustle culture. Ceremony's Tell Me Your Dream slaps you awake with its raw punk urgency. But beneath the noise is a plea for vulnerability in a world where intimacy feels transactional. Ross Farah's asking, tell me your dream when reciprocity's a contract. That's poetry disguised as a scream. This isn't just punk. It's therapy for the burnout generation. One thing that immediately stands out is how Ceremony refuses to sanitize their angst. While pop artists metaphorize, these guys just rip the Band-Aid off. Which makes me wonder, is loud music the last safe space for unfiltered emotion? And then, Stray Kids this and that. K-pop juggernauts dropping a mini-album written entirely by their in-house producers? Let's not sleep on this. While Western acts scramble to authenticity, Stray Kids are proof that factory-made can still be fiercely creative. What this really suggests is that we need to retire the authentic versus manufactured debate. Artistry isn't about how you're made, it's about what you do with the machinery. Plus, 8 tracks of 3 Rush's production? That's not an album. It's a statement of creative autonomy in a genre that's often unfairly dismissed. If you take a step back, these albums form a weird constellation. You've got time loops, identity crises, genre collisions, and raw vulnerability, all dropping on the same day. Coincidence? I don't think so. This feels like the music world subconsciously reacting to our collective fracture. We are in an age where everything's fragmented. Attention spans, ideologies, even our sense of self. And these artists, they're holding up mirrors, sometimes cracked, sometimes funhouse style. So here's my closing thought. What if the best albums this year aren't answers, but questions set to beats? What if they're asking us to rethink how we listen, not just to music, but to the chaos around us?